So, Shino versus Konan, you can say technically happened during the Pain Akatsuki invasion of the Leaf arc in Naruto, but it was pretty much off screen, or maybe it really never happened. There was a small moment in both the manga and the anime where Conan was assisting Pain in trying to find Naruto or question people about where Naruto's whereabouts. And Shino, his father, and the Aburame clan show up and basically chase her off. I'm not sure if anything else happened off screen, off panel, but the fight didn't happen. And it's no secret that Shino has been shafted plenty of times in the Naruto series and really never got a true chance to shine in Naruto Shippuden. And he had such potential to be one of the main badasses of the good guy side of the Leaf Village. When Shino first showed up in early Naruto Part 1 and during the Chunin exams, he was a very mysterious man, like right next to Gaara in mysteriousness. You really didn't know much about him until he faced Zaku in the preliminary Chunin exam rounds. And that fight was fantastic. Shino's fights were always fun to watch. He was very much a strategist. And him versus Konan in the peak of this Pain invasion arc would have been fantastic. It would have been a great way to stretch out the series without making it feel bloated with a bunch of filler. You could have had this bout. That's why I don't understand. They have all this room for filler. They could have made Konan versus Shino a filler episode, and I think people would have been pretty excited, even if it wasn't in the manga. Anytime I believe this fight should have happened, and I believe it could have happened. When I do these versus matches, I like to imagine where they would fit in the Naruto timeline, and it would fit perfectly during the Pain invasion, and it really wouldn't need to be more than one good episode, one full episode allowing Pain and Konan, probably the least utilized member of the Akatsuki, who really didn't get a real chance to shine until her fight with Obito, and by that point it might have been a little too late. But it would have been really cool to see Shino and Konan go at it, because I like to believe that Shino's a lot stronger than they allowed him to be on screen, because he was able to hold his own with old Kankuro in the Part 1 of Naruto, and it was a fantastic fight. A fight that I feel like should have been in front of the fans. But regardless, it was a fun fight in the woods. Shino has a really unique fighting style. The bugs his clan uses to fight with, fantastic. So many things you could do with that in a Naruto fight. And Konan, his opponent in this versus fight, her paper style techniques is very unique to only her. I would love to see more characters use that style of jutsus. And I think this fight would be pretty evenly matched, to be honest. She's also someone who could strategically set up some traps that would obliterate Shino if she knew ahead of time. But this is a random encounter in the village, so both competitors are blind to each other's abilities. I truly believe this fight could have been one of the best fights in the entire series. One thing Shippuden really did wrong is they really shafted most of the support characters, except for basically Shikamaru and Might Guy. Everybody else didn't get to do a whole lot, at least in the main canon storyline. And Shino especially, since he was left out of the Sasuke retrieval arc, deserved this opportunity to show his skills and show how far he has come since part 1 of Naruto. He really never got an opportunity to do that. They even kind of teased him going head to head with Toby at one point in the series as well, and it just did not happen. If it did, it happened off screen, and it didn't matter. Shino deserved a one-on-one fight with one of the Akatsuki members, that's for sure. And I think Konan would have been the perfect opponent for him. She'd be throwing all the paper at him, all the paper shurikens, all the paper explosives, and he's got his bug army to defend with. I mean, he could use the bug army to stop certain attacks, stop certain explosions. He could use them as a shield, like we've seen in the past. He could use their poison on Konan, which he could transform into paper and counter. There's so many great moments they could have had. It wouldn't even matter who would have won this fight. And in all honesty, it could go both ways depending on which way the fight went. It would have been interesting to see Konan take out Shino's father, who really didn't get a lot of screen time in the main series, who really deserved more to learn more about their clan, the Aburame clan. And it would have been interesting to see her take him out, and then it really be a one-on-one bout between Konan, our only female member of the Akatsuki, who truly needed this, who really needed this win, I believe, going into her fight with Obito. She needed some shine, and Shino would also get a little bit of a rub just going against her, even if he lost. And she's one of those characters I could see beating him and not necessarily having to kill him. She didn't seem like someone who would kill for fun. She would kill if necessary, or if right about when she's about to kill him, they have Pain or somebody call her away because they need her to do something else more important for the plan. This fight would have been a great little appetizer before the big Naruto versus Pain fight. It would have been great. Both Konan and Shino were underutilized, especially Shino. And them going head to head would have been cool. And you can't deny that. I really can't decide who would be a better opponent for Konan than Shino. Shino, like I said, has so much potential, and they've really ruined his character in the Boruto anime. Luckily, in the Boruto manga, they haven't done so much damage. But if you watch the Boruto anime, they've kind of turned Shino into the butt of a few jokes, since he's kind of filling that teacher role. And that's fine, I guess. I'm glad he's got a role. I'm glad he's got something to do, unlike characters like Kiba. He is a teacher, which I really never saw him becoming, which is fine. It's cool. But he needed this big win. He didn't really get to do a whole lot during the war arc either, which is ridiculous. And if you're not going to allow him to do anything during the war arc, other than, I think he fought his brother in a filler fight, which was okay, but a true canon bout with an Akatsuki member, gosh, it would have been fantastic. That's one thing I feel every one of those side characters, or every one of the Konoha 11, those kids all deserved a good one-on-one or team bout with a member of the Akatsuki, showing just how badass they could be. Either that or let them die in war, so we can at least see their sacrificial moment. Or let them retire from being a ninja. It's just not for them. But instead, they just kind of let them do things off screen, if you can use your imagination, I guess. They really wanted to push Sasuke and Naruto over great characters like Shino. who was such a MVP of Part 1, who just did not get a lot of opportunities. I personally, when I first saw Shino in Part 1, I thought, wow, this character has a really cool, mysterious design. We don't know a whole lot about him. We don't really know how strong he is, necessarily. That's another thing I really liked about Part 1 Naruto over Shippuden, is it felt like any member of the babyface side, any member of those genin, really stood a chance on the right day against main characters like Naruto, like Sasuke. I truly believe that Shino could have held his own with Sasuke, with Naruto, during the Chunin exams. He had a good chance of winning that tournament if he was given the opportunity. And I think he truly has a good chance of winning against Konan. Konan, one of the few, very, very, very few female characters in the entire series. Didn't get a lot of opportunities to do a whole lot, at least not a whole lot of fighting. And I think it would have been really fun to see her do some fighting with Shino before her fight with Obito, because we could have learned a little bit more about her. We could have seen just how strong she is, so when she does go head to head with Obito, we're like, oh shit, son, things are about to get real, because she was able to kick Shino's ass, who we all know is a secret badass, after their battle. But since that did not happen, we all are left to believe that she is one of the weakest members of the Akatsuki. We are left to believe that Shino really isn't that strong, even though I truly believe he really is. Just because he's not an Uchiha, just because he's not an Uzumaki, does not mean he is weak. He is very strong in his own ways. And that's one of the things I really loved about Part 1, is they all had their own ways of fighting. They didn't have this power level system. There wasn't world busting abilities. It was skill over power. And that's something about Shino I really liked. He wasn't so much of a strategist like Shikamaru, but he was right behind him in strategy. Shino is a fantastic character who was ruined at some point during the series, and they even joke about it in some parts of the series, where it seems like he's frustrated that he's not being invited to these major missions like the Sasuke retrieval arc. This would have been a really good moment for him, especially if he was able to hold off Konan and maybe even have a little interaction with Naruto when he shows up and be like, look at me, I showed just how useful I can be. Next time you need a crew of guys to help you out, give me a call, give me a ring, Naruto, because I'm an MVP of this series. Like I said, this would have been a great bout. And to be honest, who do I think would win this fight if they went head to head? Oh, man, it's really hard to call. I would have to give it to Konan, just because she's part of the Akatsuki, and she can do a whole lot with that paper jutsu stuff. She almost took out Obito, and if he didn't have that overpowered Sharingan ability to just rewrite reality, or whatever the hell he did, I believe she could have killed the man, or badly maimed him. And if she was able to pull something off like that with a shit ton of paper bombs on Shino, there's probably not much he could do. But at the same time, I'm struggling saying that she would be the decisive winner, because I feel like both of them could win this fight on a different day, with different circumstances. One wrong move from one or the other, and it's over. The fight's done. Shino's probably got a shit ton of tricks in his bag, in his back pocket. So Shino could easily win this fight as well. I feel like this fight would be rather evenly matched, and it would have been so good for his character. It would be nice to learn more about Shino's character than... We really don't know much. We know he's a weirdo and he likes bucks. That's about it. Even though it'd be nice to know more about his past, about his life, and this would have been a great way to do a little bit of Naruto flashbacking. They don't really need to, but they could. We could learn a little bit more about what he wants out of life in this fight. It would have been cool. Even if Shino ended up losing and dying, it would have been fun to see that happen, especially since they bring everybody back to life afterwards anyway. Yeah, what do you think? Do you think Shino versus Konan would be a very fun fight to see? Who do you think would win? Please like, comment, share. Please give me a like. Give me a share. It really helps me out here on my Morphetto page. I will talk to you later. Let me know who you think I should do a versus of next. Throw some characters down there.